Welcome to a Debate of the Week. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. And this is going to be about Daniel Bryan. I know this is a week late. I did that on purpose because at first I really didn't think about doing a video about it. Because I've seen the Lex Man's video. He orgasmed seeing that Daniel Bryan is back. And I've seen a lot of other people pretty much happy that he's back. The Sleg Daddy wasn't too bad about it. But he did give the 12 steps of a wrestling fan and pretty much the 10 things about Daniel Bryan you don't need to think about, which a lot of it was accurate. But this is my thought about the future of Daniel Bryan. Look, as much as everyone's happy that he's back, I'm just happy that he can walk. As a person who is disabled, who can't walk properly when he goes down the street, he has to walk with a cane. I walk with a cane, ladies and gentlemen. I will never walk right again until the day I can get a hip replacement, which people don't want to give someone as young as me until they're in their 60s, because they only last a couple of years. But I'm happy seeing that someone who could have been basically crippled for the rest of his life, walking again, and talking and being functional. And then on top of that, go back to what he used to love to do. But this is something that needs to be stated right here and now. And people who love Daniel Bryan, you're going to have to accept this fact. Daniel Bryan had surgery on his neck. Daniel Bryan has dealt with concussions. He's not staying. I don't care what anyone says that he's back. He's going to be wrestling against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Maybe he'll wrestle John Cena again. Maybe he'll wrestle Brock Lesnar. Maybe he'll wrestle Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. It doesn't matter who he wrestles. He's not wrestling a lot of people, and he's not going to be 100% active without a price. And this is a situation that I see long-term for Daniel Bryan. After WrestleMania, there's one or two things that's going to happen. One, he will stay general manager, and there will be no storyline to switch him from being a general manager to a wrestler. He will very rarely wrestle. He will only wrestle at pay-per-views. That is what's going to happen. If he doesn't have a storyline to change from being a general manager to a standard wrestler, whenever he wrestles, it will be generally on pay-per-views only. And I repeat this, only. Here's the second possibility. That he does get a storyline to get him off of being a general manager, and he does go back to wrestling as a standard wrestler. Now this is where it gets very screwy. And this is where a lot of people are so happy that they're thinking he's going to be doing a lot of wrestling. No. You're saying about a guy who messed up his neck not once but twice and had more than a few concussions before he had to stop. The WWE is watching him. They're not going to put him generally on a full schedule at first, because no matter what anyone says, the WWE does not want to be liable for him. They do not. Because even though in his contract it probably states that they're not liable for anything going on, they do not want to have any complications, because when they brought him back into it, he could have a case that if he was brought back and then he got hurt again because he went outside what he normally supposed to do, because it'd be the storyline or because of another wrestler due to the fact of what they ordered that wrestler to do, they are liable. This is what I believe could happen. So they are not going to let him go out all out immediately, if ever. He will probably not wrestle much. He'll probably still wrestle at pay-per-views, or he will wrestle sporadically throughout the years. This year he'll probably wrestle sporadically. Next year he'll probably wrestle sporadically if he switches from being a general manager to a regular wrestler. And this is something you need to understand. That as it stands now, Daniel Bryan, the character, doesn't need to wrestle. And this is something many people can't stand. I'm sure of it. That he has incredible gifts. If the guy can wrestle, let him freaking wrestle. Or better yet, if the government of the WWE won't allow it, leave here and go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where actually his contract is almost up. So he may go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sorry for the botch. Look, he may go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. and I guess I'm botching because I don't want to see him go there, because they will be a lot more liberal with his abilities than they will be in the WWE. Let's be honest. They're a lot more athletic in New Japan Pro Wrestling than they are in WWE. They wouldn't mind seeing you get hurt more than normal, even though they have lawyers there and there are certain things. If you get hurt and there are complications, they'll let you go all out as long as you can do it. So I'd rather see him stay in the WWE than New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he can get hurt more. What I would rather see for him, work this year, maybe the main pay-per-views, and maybe every 2 or 3 months, one of the smaller ones, and then retire again. In fact, I'd rather see him run a wrestling dojo and train the next generation of wrestlers than ever step foot into a ring again. This is what people don't understand. People like him aren't just great wrestlers. They also can be great teachers. And I'd rather see him leave early in pro wrestling than kill himself or hurt himself all over again, and we go through this again and just let him just wrestle. I mean, let's be honest here. If the guy is possibly going to jack his neck again or get another concussion where he has to be out again, what would you rather have? Make sure that he doesn't get it again and stop now, or let him go until whenever that happens and then he leaves. Is that fair? Tell me in the comments. You care so much about him wrestling. All those people, are you willing to take the risk of him getting hurt all over again? Because when it comes down to it, no matter what anyone says, when you come back from a jacked neck or from any type of concussion, and multiple concussions for that matter, you're never the same. He's not going to wrestle normally anymore. No matter how much people are going to say, oh, he's going to be the same, he will not be the same. Edge was not the same when he went out that one time when he hurt his neck. Before he finally retired. He was never the same. Many wrestlers aren't ever the same after a messed up neck or concussions. So you guys need to understand. Care more about the guy than about him wrestling again. And I have to agree with the Select Daddy. Wait and see what's going to happen. Will he leave being a general manager to be a wrestler? Or is he going to be a general manager / wrestler at pay-per-views only? I believe it would be better that he's a wrestler / manager, general manager, and only wrestle at pay-per-views. It'll keep the wear down from his body, and it'll be a little more safer for him. But it's just my point of view. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!